What is up, guys? Welcome to a new video. I spend a lot of time looking at different regions and trying to find new stuff, and I think I have two really cool things from Korea right now. One of these is absolutely broken right now. Let me know what you think of them in the comments. Like if you do, dislike if you don't, and remember we have this huge giveaway for a bunch of SteelSeries gear, quest bars, and over $200 of RP in the description, which is ending soon. So the first thing is for Miss Fortune, and she is already busted. Like Champion.gg is showing her as a 54.77% win rate at the moment. That is the highest easily out of all the AD carries. OP.gg goes into like specific regions, and in Korea right now over 55%. That is better than anything we've seen this season. The only difference on why it's so good in Korea is because of this keystone. They've caught on, they've changed their build, and it is so good. Miss Fortune has never really had a good keystone to use, so if you think about it, like Fervor, Warlords, maybe. You don't really auto those, so it's kind of like a secondary thing. It's not actually that good. You can also go Thunderlords, I guess, as well, but it's only really good for the lane phase. It does provide some extra burst damage though. Nobody has really ever thought about Deathfire properly, but it is so busted. Thinking about it now, when I look at this and stuff, it's so similar to Jhin. I'm like, this is obvious. Why did I not think of this before? So right now, her strengths are like her Q crit damage, right? That's kind of like one-shotting people. Her ultimate damage in team fights. Those are the two biggest things. Deathfire actually applies on both of these properly and in insane ways as well. Deathfire has three types. It has single target, which lasts 4 seconds after the damage, AoE, which lasts 2 seconds after, and damage over time, which will be like Kurt E, for example, lasts 1 second from the last tick of damage. The reason Jhin works so well with his kit is because his ultimate and W count a single target. That's 4 seconds of burn after, which is a ton of damage. It is 60% of your bonus AD over those 4 seconds. The other part is he gets loads of AD, right? He stacks AD with items and is passive. Miss Fortune also stacks loads of AD with her armor pen build, right? Ghostblade, Dustblade, Black Cleaver, Mormon Mortius, Infinity Edge, Bloodthirster all have really high AD stats on them. This is going to boost the power of your Q crit when it kills something before, but it will also increase your ultimate damage by a ton on everyone. I'm going to put this into perspective with some number stuff because it's easy for me to say this, but it's actually kind of hard for you to grasp just how good this is. So a Q crit in lane, if you rush Dustblade, would be the Q crit damage, which is already an insane amount, right? Rank 5 is 240 damage actually, plus 150% of your total AD. That's probably going to be like 180 damage at least from just that ratio, so like 420 damage in total-ish, plus the arm pen, plus the actual mark damage, which is probably at least 200 easily. Deathfire would be maybe 50 or 60 on top of that, so suddenly your Q with one item is going to do 600, 700 damage, maybe more. Could be even more. ADs only have like just over 1,000 health or something at level 9 at that stage in the game. That's pretty ridiculous. That is with one item though as well. No ultimate, no love tap or anything else added on. So normally you would hit them once for your love tap, you would ult them afterwards. Now in my opinion, this makes Miss Fortune the best AD carry in 620 and absolutely insane. She's already so good, but this just takes her to another level, and we haven't even looked at her ultimate yet either. So we looked at one item, but what about if we go for full build? So Dustblade, Ghostblade, Black Cleaver, Infinity Edge, Bloodthirster. That's going to be 330 AD bonus and about 480 total maybe. Deathfire Touch on your Q would do over 200 damage. Deathfire Touch on your ultimate would do over 100 damage. That's a lot of extra, but I want to look at her ultimate specifically because your ultimate is 3 seconds, right? And remember, Deathfire Touch actually does damage every half a second. It would be about 25 damage per half a second. So 125 bonus during the ultimate and then 100 when it lingers from the last bit of the damage. So that's 225 extra damage, and that is per person, by the way. This is a really big bit. Imagine a 5-man ult late game, right? Take this keystone and it's given your ultimate for free over 1,000 more damage to the enemy team. Not counting, by the way, you probably have about 400 AD. Her ultimate does 1,200% of your AD if every single wave hits. That could just wipe out the entire enemy team, to be honest. Normally with these things, I break it down and I explain how to play it, but honestly, like, it's exactly the same as Miss Fortune we have now, except she does even more damage and is absolutely busted with this. Give it a try, let me know what you think. Honestly though, I think this just takes her to another level and I think it works way too well. There is actually another Korean trend that I can't wait to talk about in this video though, and that is going to be Draven. Draven is becoming a lot more popular in Diamond Plus in Korea right now, partly because of this build, but the build is actually really weird. The best build right now over there, over a 60% win rate with this thing, is rushing a Death's Dance. Yeah, actually a Death's Dance. Then you can get Ghostblade after, and either like a Phantom Dancer or Rapid Fire Cannon, but it does make some sense if you think about it. Cooldown reduction, AD, lifesteal. In theory, you should have slightly better dueling with this, with the bleed thing as well. Like, I mean, he can lifesteal to counter the bleed damage if he wins the fight, right? So for a change, it's actually super useful, actually. They also run Warlords, so this is like super super ham on the lifesteal, like double or triple lifesteal in a build. This is actually how most of the builds go. So they either start with like Death Dance or Bloodthirster, and then they go into other stuff. They really love the Warlords and lifesteal item to start, to just never die in the lane phase. Apart from this, they're actually playing pretty similar. They do love Infinity Edge though. Infinity Edge is always in their build at some point. This isn't like a massive game-changing thing, like you don't have to play much differently. It's like Misfortune, right? It's really interesting, a different way of doing things, but ultimately the champion stays the same with it. From the games I've actually watched though, they are super aggressive, like real madman type running at the enemy, but even if they take a bad trade, right, they can heal back up straight away afterwards. And plus, if you think about it, in the actual fight, they have so much healing that they can just stand there and auto with their Q, which is so hard to deal with. I'm not going to make this video super long because I just wanted to highlight these two really cool things that I think are really powerful right now. Let me know what you think of these, and if you try them out, make sure you let me know how they go. I think these are really cool. They're super good, especially the Deathfire on Misfortune. I think you should all swap your keystones to Deathfire now. It's just ridiculous right now. Thank you for watching until the end, but for now, let's go to the robots.